Well, back inside the Seagulls Center, again, it's a sellout, and it is a lot of times. The atmosphere is energetic. It's got a pulse to it, and the band certainly helps with that. The Peppas, they've been rocking and rolling for over an hour in preparation for today's ball game. St. Bonaventure in town, 10-11. They're 4-4 in the Atlantic 10. Mark Schmidt's team last year went to the NIT semifinals before they lost to the eventual champion, the Xavier Musketeers. He has done a remarkable job as the head coach at St. Bonaventure. This is probably his biggest rebuild in years. 16th season. He told us today, he said, listen, if I was 40, I'd probably feel a little differently, but I do like to teach, and he definitely teaches these kids. Take a look at the starting lineups for today's ball game. So Moses Flowers making his first start for St. Bonaventure. He's starting for Barry Evans. They just made that adjustment before the start of this game. Mike Rhodes loves his team. Off to a really good start in the Atlantic 10. And we are ready to go. 118 wins for Mike Rhodes as the head coach here. Tony Crisp is at center court. He's ready to toss it up, and the tip is controlled by VCU.
This VCU team plays with a lot of depth and balance. Playing through the paint is their focus. A lot of paint touches early is what they're trying to do.
Here's Johns. He doesn't often pass it out of this, but they're going to double him, and he does. Baldwin swings it to the corner. Kern into the paint. They like paint touches. Here's Baldwin, the shot clock down to 7. Now to Nunn. Heading to the basket. Shot is blocked by the big man, Chad Venning, and picked up by St. Bonaventure.
Great defensive possession to start out for the Bonnies. They contest, they block out, and they get the ball in a possession.
You know, they really worked on that today at shoot-around, was stopping the ability for VCU to get in the paint and get those shots off easily. Absolutely.
That was their main focus. Playing consistently locked in as a unit, trapping the post and then rotating out of the post and closing out the shooters.
Here's Baldwin. He'll be a distributor, but he can score 2. He averages 11.5 per game. They go down low to DeLoach. There's the double coming. They swing it to Kern. Kern in the paint using his palm. Can't get it to go, and the Bonnies come down with it.
And so far, 0 for 2 for VCU, and you have to attribute the Bonnies' defense. That double in the post is triggering their defensive attack.
Flowers missed that 3 in transition. VCU wants to get the rebound, and they want to hurry up into the offensive end.
Yeah, they play with pace, but it's a controlled pace. It's really all about dribble penetration, swinging the ball side to side to make the defense shift.
Here's Johns for 3, the transfer from Michigan. It's an air ball out of bounds. Well, this is not the offense that we expected for the first few possessions.
But, you know, when we watched the shoot-around, Coach Schmidt was locked in on making sure this team was really, really focused on the defensive end, taking away the middle, forcing the ball to the side, and doubling into the post.
Banks brings it up the floor, snaking along the sidelines. Goes in, and they pull it back out.
And defensively, VCU is going to switch pretty much everything on the side, on the perimeter. Great ball pressure and length with their wings.
Flowers got some separation. Here's Banks, covered by Nunn. Along the baseline, shot is blocked away by DeLoach.
This is when they're really good, playing off their defense.
And DeLoach can't get the easy bucket to go down the first time, but he gets it to go down the second time.
A good second effort by DeLoach, but their defense is the biggest concern if you're the Bonnies, because they turn their defense into offense, particularly when they can play with pace and transition.
See Luke trying to get through that defense. He does. Flowers has it knocked away from behind and out of bounds.
Quick hands, anticipation. You cannot relax if you're an offensive player on the Bonnies. You see the tip out. Deflections is a big part of VCU's defensive identity.
Yeah, what did Mike Rhodes say to us today? Deflections and paint touches are 2 things they focus on.
Absolutely, and that leads to production on both ends of the court for them.
Benning, the transfer from Morgan State, continues to get his body in better shape. Luke, tough shot, rebound loose, spun into the hands of Luke. Fighting his way to the basket, kicks it out. Farrell for 3. The freshman gets it to go.
He's got a lot of promise. One of the better perimeter shooters on this Bonnie team. 3-time A-10 Rookie of the Week. He's got a lot of upside. It's a good start for him.
Came into this game 15 for his last 30 from the floor.
Playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, you nearly got the steal there. The ball is knocked loose into the backcourt. 3-2, St. Bonaventure on top. Whistle blows.
Jan Farrell, the 6'6" freshman, playing with a lot of confidence. The three ball, a big part of his game. And he's a versatile wing that can guard on the perimeter, but also take the ball offensively and make plays inside and out.
Johns will take a seat. Shriver, who has become a fan favorite here at VCU, in for the first time.
This fan, we're going to see the fans get excited as soon as he knocks down his first three ball.
Yeah, they gave out mustaches in his honor today. 1,000 mustaches they gave out today.
They tried to give me one, but I think they ran out.
Shot clock down to 3. Baldwin. Pull-up jumper from the elbow is good.
Well, he's that guy. He is their general, their clutch player. And when they need a play, he's the one that can make it. Just a sense of time and score. He knew he had to get that shot off. Very good in the mid-range.
Love talking to Mike Rhodes today about him. And I loved his comment that he has edge in anything he competes in. Shriver for 3. No good. It's an air ball.
You see how excited the crowd is as soon as Shriver gets the ball. And here's Baldwin at his best. Great at misdirection. That step back going right is one of his go-to moves. And he is the heart and soul of this team. He's also their most important player in terms of continuity and leadership.
And let's talk about it a little bit. That was not an easy shot. Banks had his hand
contested
in his
shot,
face. Yeah. Under 16 minutes to play here in the first half. Light offense so far for both teams. Benning to Banks. Banks has it blocked away by Nunn. Kern sidewinds across midcourt, losing control. A couple blocks so far for VCU.
Yeah, blocks, they're active, they have length, they contest, they make you work for everything. And right when you think you have an angle, they can strip you or get a deflection.
Baldwin off the high screen, pull up 3. It grazes the side of the rim.
This St. Bonnie's team wants to play with a little bit more patience offensively. Another turnover by the Bonnies.
Yeah, that's what happens. Baldwin kicks it to the side for Nunn. His 3 is good.
And that's the second turnover turned into a basket. That's a live ball turnover. Those are the ones you want to avoid if you're Coach Schmidt. And VCU really thrives off of turning defense into offense.
I think Mike Rhodes wanted a specific defense off that make that his team didn't see, as DeLoach is called for the foul.
And the sophomore Nunn, a big part of this offensive firepower.
Well, the Peppers are in full voice here today. Let's take a look at Tariq's keys to the game. Run us through these, sir.
Well, to start with, you got to take care of the ball if you're St. Bonaventure. We see early on what VCU does. They speed you up, they turn you over, and they turn it into offense. For VCU, they want to use their depth and bench firepower. The last 5 games, they're averaging 27 points from the bench. They don't have a drop-off with their bench. It just continues what they had from the start.
Yeah, Mike Rhodes told us today, and we know this just from being around him for all these years, I do like to go 8 or 9 deep, sometimes 11 deep. Luke off the inbound, hits the front of the rim, but gets his own rebound. They go to the corner, another 3 for the Bonnies. Too strong, ball tipped out by Maluk and out of bounds. It'll be VCU basketball.
T-Mac, you mentioned that depth when wanting to play 8 or 9 guys. It's one thing to want that, but there's another thing to actually have that. And this year, he legitimately has 9 guys that he can play. He wants to play 9 or 10. Not too many coaches have that luxury. We have a guy in now in Jameer Watkins, who we'll talk about, number 0. He's really a starter, but he is a dynamic talent coming off the bench.
Yeah, this is 6 straight games where he's coming off the bench for VCU. Jackson off the bench as well. They try to go into Johns, now to Shriver. And Zeb Jackson can play the point if need be for VCU. Transfer from Michigan. His pull-up jumper no good. Both teams are really off the mark with their offense.
Yeah, they are. Still trying to get their rhythm, and VCU is taking shots they're accustomed to taking, but a little off early on. Most of their offenses come on in transition.
Yeah, you see the field goals. Bonaventure, St. Bonaventure, 1 for 9. VCU 3 for 10, counting that last miss.
There's that full court pressure by the Rams. They never take a day off or a minute off. There's that run and jump. They're trying to speed Bonnie's up, take them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, they're also trying to discourage Banks from even touching the basketball after he gives it up.
Yep, and Banks is going to see a lot of different looks defensively.
There's that tip by Johns.
And the Bonnies have been unable to really run their offense because of the deflections, the block shots, and the turnovers.
By the way, we have not seen Barry Evans yet, the freshman who was originally in the starting lineup, but they made an adjustment.
I think they wanted Moses Flowers out there for his ability to stretch the floor.
There's another turnover.
And at VCU, they just come at you in swarms. And, you hear the word havoc, which came as part of VCU's identity years ago under Shaka Smart. Well, Mike Rose is part of that staff. He's taken some of that and implemented it in his own way here with this team.
7-3 VCU on top. Jackson to the side. Watkins up top for Baldwin. Little fake into the paint. Runner is good. Smooth.
Well, that's his game. Getting into the paint. He hunts the paint. He will not settle. He got right into a sweet spot and a nice step back going right. That's his favorite shot.
Yeah, so he has 4. Farrell for 3. Again, his second 3 for St. Bonaventure.
We like the fact that there's no hesitation. Catch and shoot. Quick release. Good-looking player at 6'6".
Yeah, second 4-star recruit. Mark Schmitz picked up. The other one was Justin Winston. Johns, they'll double team him usually. Spin move, he's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Baldwin is just a maestro with the ball. The ball fake froze the defense, and when he froze it, he didn't settle. He got right to his sweet spot and pulled up. And here's Farrell, the freshman, off to a good start, T-Mac, with his second 3-ball.
Yeah, he's got 6. Johns will go to the free throw line. Brandon Johns, transfer from Michigan. 79% for the free throw line. He has really been a huge asset as a transfer for Mike Rhodes.
Yeah, he has. Coach Rhodes told us today at shoot-around that he's the most exciting, fun player he's ever coached because of his enthusiasm, his effort. He plays to exhaustion. Great teammate, all about winning, all about team.
I thought that was a really cool description. He plays to exhaustion.
Yeah. Really. It's a great way to be described if you're playing in any sport.
Barry Evans in for the first time. He's number 0. Ball's tipped by Baldwin.
So, Coach Schmidt has got a dilemma here because his team can't get into their offense, and they can't even get 1 or 2 passes complete because VCU is so good at getting in the gaps in the passing lanes. They've had 6 deflections now, along with 2 blocks.
Yeah, and the shot clock's already down to 10. Maluk open for 3. Too strong initially, and it doesn't take the roll he'd like. And now Watkins, young man from Trenton, New Jersey. Shriver swings it. Baldwin is off the floor. He's getting a breather. Here's Nunn off the screen, looking for Johns instead. Kicks it out for Watkins. Shot clock down under 10. Nunn for 3. Short. Oh, we got a little bit of a tie. 11:56 to play here in the first half. 4-point lead for VCU. We know that Ace Baldwin has an impact on this team. He's already had an impact today. He's got 4 points quickly. Got a breather for a moment. But look at this graphic and what he really does mean for this team.
I mean, that sums it up. 39 games, they're scoring 72 points per game and almost 50%. And in 13 games without him, they're down over 10 points less, and their percentage is under 40%. That is a remarkable difference, all because of the impact this young man brings as a point guard general and the coach on the floor.
Mike Rhodes told us a couple weeks ago, he said, the only way you can beat Ace Baldwin is if you kill him.
Yeah, he wants to win everything.
Yeah. Rumpel in for the first time for St. Bonaventure. That ball is tipped toward the sidelines and saved by DeLoach. Uh-oh. I guess they said there was no control.
Yeah, it's amazing that VCU's only up 4 because defensively they've been dominant. They have taken the Bonnies out of everything they want to run, but they haven't been able to convert at the level they're used to.
DeLoach goes inside for Johns. They kick it out for Watkins for 3. Short. Yeah, there's a rebound by Evans. They are really high on Evans. He and Farrell both, they're built almost the same.
Yeah, 2 freshmen, well 1 freshman and Barry Evans.
Johns with the shot block.
Great effort, and that's an example of the hustle and the playing to exhaustion comment that Coach Rhodes made about Johns not giving up on the play.
You got a move that Benning should have made on that one instead?
Oh, man, he could have did it, paused and did a shot fake.
Johns double teams. They're trying to swarm him. Shot clock under 10. Johns into the paint. Shot clock at 5. Looked like he may have been fouled. Rebound is taken down by Evans.
Good effort by the front line of the Bonnies contesting. Another turnover.
That's what you talked about before. You got to watch it from behind. Here comes Jackson.
Now, this is what you don't want. The turnovers that lead to baskets. That's the 3rd basket that the Rams have scored. That's been their best offense so far, scoring off their defense.
4 turnovers for St. Bonaventure so far. We're halfway through this first half. Ruppel looking in, goes to Venning, away from the basket, backing his way in. Got control of the ball and really did a nice job of switching from right to left.
And the footwork was there, the nice pause in the up and under, using his left hand. He's not a lefty, but nice job avoiding the defense.
Mark Schmidt talked to us today about, he was his dad was a professional boxer.
Yeah.
And he's boxed also, and he's got a little of that footwork in him.
Yes, he does.
Ball is knocked away.
VCU's best offense has been the transition game. Getting out and running. This is why they're so hard to guard, because they come at you with waves, and it's all their perimeter guys love and thrive in the up-tempo style of play. Scoring off their defense is when they're at their best.
All right, so that sort of windmill dunk, was that your favorite when you played?
I wish I could do that. I wish I could. I was lucky if I can get it just. Well, I could dunk, but not like that.
Yeah. Baldwin will inbound to DeLoach after that foul, and DeLoach just dribbled it right out of bounds.
Well, the Bonnies' defense is keeping them in the game. What's giving them problem is their inability to take care of the ball, and you got to give the Rams some credit because their pressure so far has been relentless.
It's only a 4-point game.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like it, but, the Bonnies are still well within this game.
Luke doing a little assessing against Baldwin. He did get some separation, and he has it knocked away from behind again. I tell you, it's an art what they are able to do like that.
Well, they move their feet extremely well. They don't get beat off the dribble, and they don't have to help. Like, they can stay in front of, each guy can stay in front of their man, which means no one else has to help and leave their guy for open shots.
Turnovers are up to 5. 9 minutes to play here in the first half. Baldwin off the high screen, looking for Schreiber. Instead goes to Nunn. Nunn from the free throw line. He got up, and he was able to get it over.
But a dribble drive offense, a big part of VCU's game in the half court. Attacking closeouts off the bounce, that mid-range shot. A good look for Nunn.
Tyrell Luke. 15 possessions for St. Bonaventure. 3 buckets for them. Luke to the free throw line. They go to the corner, and Hill passes it up, and it's knocked away by Baldwin, but he's called for a foul.
This is just good basketball here. You attack the closeout. Banks tried to close out on him, but he didn't have the right angle. He wasn't low enough, and Nunn made him pay with a nice 2-dribble pull-up. Another good player, a complimentary player that really just plays right in the flow of the offense for Coach Rhodes, that encourages all their wings and guards to attack and get in the paint.
You got a thought on how they can get Banks open?
Banks is a guy that you got to run him off some action, get him off some screens, and play him off the ball a little bit, because right now they are swarming him because he is the main playmaker on this St. Bonaventure team.
They averages 16.5 per game. Baldwin probably should have just taken that to the hoop. So the ball is out of bounds. Second turnover for VCU. 6-point lead for the Rams. Many different partners, from Dick Enberg and Al McGuire. What a threesome those guys were. Of course, Gary Bender, we mentioned. Jim Nance, talked to Jim yesterday, and he said his years with Billy were the most special that he had, which it was noticeable, even their energy and their relationship.
Yeah, I also think he was one of those guys that was kind of an early on pioneer for the analyst role in college baskall. That could give an opinion.
Yes.
Even if you didn't agree with it, he could tell you what he was thinking, what he was seeing, and he didn't back down from it.
All along these CBS platforms today, they did beautiful obituaries on behalf of our basketball crews, and rightfully so. 7.5 to play here in the first half. It's 14-8. VCU is on top. St. Bonaventure's gotten some open shots. They haven't been able to get a lot of them to go.
Yeah, if you're Coach Rhodes, you're happy with the defense because you're taking St. Bonaventure out of their stuff, speeding them up, deflections, turnovers you're forcing, but offensively they have not been able to convert early on.
DeLoach fadeaway jumper is good. He thought he was hit.
Nice move by DeLoach. They went 4 out, 1 in. He had the spacing and the one-on-one advantage. Good footwork and a nice jump hook over the top.
Under 7 to play here in the first half. Banks very quiet so far in this ball game. Corner jumper is no good. In and out for Hill, who's making the transition from a 5 in his previous conference in the NEC to being a 4 in the Atlantic 10.
Not easy at all. Coming to this is a step up. They're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger, and you can see that he's still going through that transition.
Nunn's fouled, so he'll get a couple of free throws.
And DeLoach, the 5-man, and he's just a guy that's getting better and better. He's not known for his scoring, but he can knock down the shot. He's got the length, the work ethic, and 6'9" sophomore who has had a couple double-doubles as well. He really thrives in this up-tempo style of play that VCU plays.
Yeah, 5 games this year with 16 points or better as Nunn goes to the free throw line. Missed the first one, 73% for the year. Johns will check back in. DeLoach will check out.
The way VCU plays, their pace is really an asset to have this kind of depth, to be able to play 8 or 9 guys and not have a drop off in pace, energy. And you know, you're seeing 5 or 6 guys on this VCU team that can guard and switch everything on the perimeter and all can get downhill and put pressure on your defense.
Boy, made one and missed one. 17-8 the score, 6:20 to play here in the first half. Luke, pull-up jumper, leaning in a little bit much on it. Venning battling for the loose ball, and it's picked up by Schreiber of VCU. Baldwin, how about that pass? Oh, and Kern is foul going up. It's a good foul.
Looked like he got undercut.
Yeah, maybe.
He's okay, but a great pass by, that was Baldwin. Beautiful pass, and Baldwin always looking ahead, making the right play. Kern, who was inserted into the lineup about 5 games ago, and VCU had to make a dilemma. They had to change in how they wanted to play, and this guy right here was inserted into the lineup, and they haven't lost since.
Well, Kern's first free throw, it's good. Yeah, Kern was inserted into the starting lineup because of his defense. And Watkins was taken out of the starting lineup, and he was the guy coming off the bench now.
It's not easy.
Not easy.
Coach Rhodes, had to really explain and talk about why he was doing it and get his guys to understand it. And they seem like they're now at that point where everyone's bought into their role, and that's really important from this point on throughout the season.
Here's Luke, covered by Baldwin.
This is a set they run to try to get some misdirection, and then the ball screen going to the paint. Well defended so far.
Flowers, the Venning in the paint, forces his way in, and he's able to get it to go.
But that was great execution. They were patient. They had 2 or 3 counters that didn't work, and then they got a nice dump down to their big man who had a one-on-one matchup.
Schreiber for 3. It's good.
Well, this guy is a sniper, and he's not the prototypical VCU guy. Most of the guys that play at VCU are wings, athletic, and high flying, but this guy is a knockdown shooter playing in a great rhythm right now.
9-2 run. Jumper for the free throw line is no good. Hill with his second putback. It's good. 5 minutes to play. Here in the first half. VCU in first place in the Atlantic 10, tied with St. Louis.
VCU continues to put pressure on the defense by living in the paint. Nice one-on-one move here by Venning, and then Schreiber. You just can't leave him open. That is a layup. We watched him earlier today. He didn't miss a shot, and he is a guy that's playing with great confidence, shooting 66% from 3 in the last stretch of games. Just an incredible shooter.
Yeah, when I saw VCU earlier this year against Vanderbilt, Shriver was in a few times, but he was definitely not contributing what he's contributing now.
Yeah. Confidence, rhythm, and he's the kind of guy that can infuse energy in your team.
Baldwin thought about the three, instead goes to Johns. Let's see if they double. Johns, yep, there's the double. Nearly forces the turnover. Three up top, no good, and the rebound by Banks. That was Watkins for that three.
VCU getting plenty of looks, all because Johns is drawing a double out.
Boy, that was not a bad drive by Watkins. And a foul is going to be called, I think, against Venning for over the back.
Personal foul is charged at number 32, Chad Venning. That's his first. Team foul number 7.
It's a 17 foul.
Yeah, it's awfully hard for any team to come into Siegel Center with this energy, this pace, this style, and this kind of depth that VCU has, and disrupt them and get a win. So you almost have to be perfect. A-10, a very deep league, well balanced, but VCU probably one of the toughest places in the league to play at.
Yeah, see the record. Yeah, 13 games at home this year, 12-1. They've won 8 straight.
Here's that misdirection. They're trying to get Farrell a shot.
And Farrell cans his third three-pointer of the half.
Perfectly executed. They did a nice cross screen, and Farrell faded on it, and he caught that right away and just knew he had to get it off. Quick release. He's in a nice rhythm. He's been their best player so far tonight.
Yeah, Farrell's high school coach said he's one of the most mature players I've come across. I think we're seeing that here. Watkins puts it on the deck, has it blocked away by Venning, gets it back, and Flowers will be called for the foul on the floor. 9 points so far for Jan Farrell. Those numbers are important as Watkins goes to the free throw line. 9 of the 15 points because he's scoreless so far. He's 0 for 3. Banks is.
Yes, he is, and he has drawn the attention of multiple VCU wings and guards that have suffocated him and made him more of a passer than a shooter. Banks is going to have to maybe play off the ball and run off some screens.
Ball last touched by Watkins.
Easier said than done. I'm really impressed with the
said
Rams defense. They don't give up on any plays. They recover. They get tip outs, deflections, blocks, and they're physical as well.
Shot clock is down to 5. Farrell, shot clock is at 3, trying to get it in, gets it to Venning, going up. Shot is blocked away. That'll be a violation. Jackson got it.
And Jackson with a great rotation, rotated from the weak side, and another block. I think that's the 4th block by VCU. So between turnovers, you just watch it here. They fight over topside, and Jackson comes through the back from the weak side, knowing that it was a high percentage opportunity, and gets a great block.
6 turnovers for St. Bonaventure. Previous 5 have been turned into 9 points. Watkins open for 3 and no good. Rebound by Luke. Boy, he got up there.
He's a great athlete. Bouncy, smallest guy on the floor, but he gets up the highest.
Nice crossover, hops into the paint, left it for Venning. He was a little surprised. They go down low to Luke. Luke lost control of it, and he's fouled from behind by Watkins.
That's one of the few times that the Bonnies have been able to get some penetration into the paint.
Well, it's only the 3rd team foul for VCU. Luke to Banks. Covered by Jackson. Fadeaway jumper. No good.
And the defense by Jackson was excellent. He squared up, he contested, and he used his length to close out on Banks, causing him to miss that shot.
Here's Baldwin going in. Offensive foul. Out of the restricted area was Flowers. And Ace Baldwin called for the first one.
That's the right play. And even though Baldwin got into the paint, nice job by Flowers holding his ground out of the restricted area. Easy call for the officials. That's the second foul for Baldwin.
Yep. You know, there's been some coaches around college basketball when somebody picks up their second in the first half,
yes,
they're playing.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think Baldwin is the kind of player who's smart enough, high IQ enough, where he can still play without getting the third foul. But I'm not the head coach, so I can't make that decision.
Shot clock down to 12. Farrell going up. No good off the front of the rim. No foul was called. It's 4-on-4. Jackson lost control. Picked up by Benning. The big man running the floor. Has it knocked away. Farrell dives for it. Lost it. Picked up by Benning. Mike Rhodes wanted a traveling violation.
John's not giving Farrell any airspace after knocking down 3 threes.
Yeah, Mike Rhodes is not happy there wasn't a traveling violation. I do think the officials have let some plays play on, right?
They have, yeah, for sure. I'm okay with that, by the way. I think that the flow is fine as long as you're consistent on both ends, and they have so far.
Yeah, that's 5 team fouls on VCU. Tony Crisp is bringing Zeb Jackson over. I think he's got a little blood. Mike Rhodes says, just wipe it.
An opportunity for both coaches to huddle up and get a timeout.
Yeah, so they're going to give him a chance to stay on the floor as long as they can get it cleaned up.
You know, the pace right now is still favoring VCU. And they're in the bonus. And they have been the aggressors, but I tell you what, these Bonnies aren't going away.
No.
They've got some fight. They're young. This is a team in St. Bonaventure that is totally brand new. They have 9 newcomers, and they have not won on the road. So there's a lot at stake here, and they're certainly trying to get their first one.
Yeah, the only team in college basketball this year with 0 points back from last season. Benning against DeLoach. Benning powers his way up, blocked, and he's fouled.
Well, I like the fact that they're going into Benning and feeding him the ball. When they have the spacing, let him go to work. He had the mismatch, back his guy down and draw the foul or score.
Benning has transitioned his body. He was 345 pounds when he was at Morgan State and started to lose it then. But since the summer, arriving at St. Bonaventure, he's trimmed even more. He's lost almost 70 pounds.
Yeah, that's incredible. And it's a testament to his work ethic and his dedication to not only helping himself, but helping his team. And he is their go-to post player at 6'10", only a sophomore. They're excited about his progress.
He'll get 2 shots. Missed the first one. His freshman year at Morgan State, he was at 44% from the free throw line. He's improved to 66% now.
He has had some trouble with fouls. He's fouled out 5 times this year. But tonight he has been good.
Yeah, so now it's a 5-point game. VCU has been scoreless for the last 4.5 minutes or so. Jackson picked up by Luke to the corner for Watkins. High stepping into the paint, and he's fouled on the floor.
One of the things that makes VCU so hard to guard, T-Mac, is when they reverse the ball a couple times. That is an opportune time for a guy like Watkins to attack and close out and get into the paint with that length at 6'7". He knew he had the chance, and he took advantage of it, getting into the paint, drawing that foul.
All right, so Flowers is going to check out with 3 fouls. 0 points, 3 fouls. And Watkins, 73% from the line. 0 for 1 today, 1 for 2.
He's been quiet offensively, but he is probably the most talented player on this VCU team. 6'7", dynamic athlete, can shoot the 3, can get to the rim. He can guard everything from 1 through 4, and just a sophomore. Got a world of talent, coming off the bench now, but really embracing that role and playing starters minutes.
They made both free throws to make it a 7-point game. We're heading toward 1 minute to play here in the first half. Luke gets the offense going.
that same play they ran a little earlier to get Farrell a three. Trying to run Banks off a stagger.
Evans to Banks. Banks trying to draw the contact, and his shot is no good. He wanted a foul.
I thought he got fouled there. Banks wanted that. Did a nice job of drawing the contact. The refs didn't go with it. A shot fake to get Watkins a little body brush. I thought there was enough there.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Could have went either way.
14-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Some teams like to go 2 for 1. I don't know if VCU will do that here, but they do play with pace.
Watkins to Jackson, down low to Johns. Johns, the help came. And the ball stolen up top by Luke. That was almost a frustration turnover by Johns.
Time to score. Bonnie should hold for 1 here.
Ball's knocked out of bounds with 18.2 to play. And Mark Schmidt's going to call a timeout. All right, he calls a lot of plays, so he must have something he wants. It'll be St. Bonaventure ball when we come back. I really think it's remarkable that Mark Schmidt has been able to coach this team to within 1 game of 500 and a 4-4 record in the Atlantic 10, considering what he lost from last year. Meanwhile, VCU is tied with St. Louis. Those are the two top teams in the Atlantic 10. But it's hard to sleep on Dayton, even though they're 6-3 right now.
Yeah, you know, they have the best player in the league in Duron Collins. They just haven't, Duron Holmes, but they haven't been healthy, and that's obviously not an excuse, but it is a chance that they can get back to fully healthy Dayton, and if they do, look out. But right now, you're right, VCU, St. Louis have been the most impressive teams early on.
Shot clock down to 5, game clock down to 5. Farrell's jumper is no good. Rebound by Johns, he lost it. And how about that? Barry Evans there to clean it up and lay it in. It's a 5-point game for VCU, the fewest points allowed in the first half this season. But they've only scored 23.
With 0 points. He is the guy that you have to stop if you want to beat the Bonnies, and they did that early with 0 points.
Amazing.
You know, that's really a really big thing for them to not have any points at all.
Yeah, they harassed him the entire first half. Brendan Johns also for VCU 1 point in the first half.
Yeah, they continued to double him early and made him a passer to make him offensive.
Yeah, offensive foul right out of the gate against Nick Kern.
That's the way you want to start if you're Mike Rhodes.
You know, you and I were talking during halftime. We said they let them play a lot in the first half, and you wondered if they would adjust that a little bit in the second half.
We're going to see, and you know, it's a great point because for the most part it was a pretty free-flowing game in the
first
half.
Here's Venning off the glass, no good. Johns with the rebound.
Well defended. They made Venning shoot over his right shoulder with the left hand, which is his weak hand.
Baldwin fading away, no good. Johns with the rebound, can't get it to go. Second shot is no good, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Well, that's what we talk about, the pressure on the rim and getting the ball in the paint. It started with Baldwin penetrating. Even though he missed the shot, he caused a scramble. The defense collapsed, and Johns is wide open for the offensive rebound. That is why it's so important when you talk to Mike Rose to get paint touches, because it creates opportunities for their other guys.
Johns to the free throw line. He was 1 for 2 in the first half. And he mixed that one. Again, no field goals for the last 6 minutes of game time for VCU.
Yeah, and I can't really say, you know, they just didn't make shots. And certainly sometimes that happens, but you have to find other ways to be effective. And the Bonnies had something to do with that. I just think VCU missed a lot of looks, open looks, that they're used to making.
Well, Johns makes both free throws. Look at VCU 7th nationally in free throw attempts, 19th in makes. As a comparison, last year they were 205 in the first one and 215 in the second one.
Yeah, big difference.
Ball stolen away. Johns into the open floor, heading to the basket, lays it in.
Again, the quick hands and the foot speed of Johns, who can switch and guard smaller guys. Keep an eye, Johns is limping here. He looked like he might have pulled something. A great defensive steal there and a wide open layup.
Luke to the corner. Flowers 3, it's good.
That can get you some rhythm.
Yes.
Good looking shot by Flowers.
3 threes in the first half for St. Bonaventure. Kern cutting along the baseline off the pass from Nunn.
And the penetration, the paint touch, and then the backdoor cut by Kearns behind the defense. A high percentage shot. That's Ram basketball at his best.
Yeah, Kern 31 games off the bench last year. He has started the last 6 games for VCU. Banks still scoreless. Puts it on the deck, heads to the hoop, blocked away, and DeLoach saves it on the baseline. Kern with a good catch. And he'll reset this offense. Two minutes into the second half. Here's Baldwin. Little fake. Goes down low to DeLoach. Off the glass, no good. Venning with the rebound.
Well, good contest by Venning. Getting his hands high.
Luke, a little jump stop in the paint. Turnaround jumper's good. That's smooth right there.
Yeah, well, he's a good player, and he is really good at that pull-up jumper off the bounce. And although he's small, he's got good quickness and ability to separate to create some space.
Patriot League Rookie of the Year last year when he played for Holy Cross. Kern gets it into Johns. Johns double teamed again, then comes back out, and his pass goes out of bounds.
This is just great one-on-one defense, and Johns with the steal in the open court, and his switchability makes him a really versatile defender. And then the nice pull-up by Luke, the floater in traffic. Good-looking jump shot by the sophomore.
Yeah, this is a 2-possession game still.
Yes.
St. Bonaventure with the basketball. Luke again, almost the same spot, not the same result, but the ball was put back, I think, by VCU, but give Venning the bucket.
Yeah, Venning will get credit, and good effort by the big man staying around the rim, and we got a 2-possession game here. Bonnie's hanging around, and VCU has not been able to separate.
Another offensive foul called against Baldwin. And by the way, they just, that's his third. They did give that bucket to Flowers, not Venning. Both hands were in the neighborhood.
Okay. 2 uncharacteristic turnovers, 2 offensive illegal screens by VCU. Baldwin will go out with his 3rd foul. And Jackson will come in as the backup point guard.
Here's Luck. 4-point game. Gets it to Banks, open for 3. No good, but he's fouled. He'll get 3 free throws.
Yep. And when you hang around like the Bonnies are doing, you start to get more confidence. And Banks, your best player, has a donut right now, but now he draws a foul from a 3, gets a chance to make some foul shots, get some rhythm, see the ball go through the net.
84% for the free throw line. The nation was introduced to Banks last year when he was at St. Peter's because he had 27 points in the opener of the NCAA tournament against Kentucky, which gave the Peacocks the upset.
That was a pretty big stage.
Pretty big stage. He missed the first one, made the second one, now has the 3rd.
Broke out of a shooting slump for 29 points versus Fordham. Before that, he had been struggling, but that's the kind of game that you would hope to get him some rhythm on the road.
So he missed 1, made 2, and we've got a 2-point game, 29-27.
And with Baldwin out in the game, Jackson is now that guy that's got to run the team, keep his team organized, but still be in attack mode.
Watkins looking in, goes to Nunn, back to Watkins. To the baseline, he's double teamed, feeds it, difficult pass to DeLoach, and it's out of bounds.
There's no spacing there, and you know, spacing's so important to this VCU team because it gives them angles to drive it. A little bit too crowded there. 9 seconds on the shot clock.
Jackson will initiate the inbound. Good coverage by St. Bonaventure. Schreiber to DeLoach. Shot clock is at 5. DeLoach off the glass. It's good. Count the bucket. I don't even think he used the glass on that one.
Well, he's a downhill driver, and just a nice job by DeLoach getting the angle. He got that first step and then used his body to shield the ball and take the contact. Nice play by the 6'9" sophomore.
Yeah, so Venning's going to have to check out, Tariq. He's got 3, and it brings Maluk in.
Much smaller lineup in here for the Bonnies.
DeLoach to the line. Missed it. Shriver tips it, but Farrell plucks it out of the air.
Let's see if Banks can keep at it with the attack mode.
Farrell covered by Shriver. Flowers open for 3. He's got it.
Great play. That was a drawn-up play, a staggered down screen for Flowers. One of the better catch-and-shoot guys knocks down his second 3 tonight.
One thing you know about Mark Schmidt, he has a zillion plays to the corner. None. He's open for 3. No answer there. Farrell with the rebound. How about this? St. Bonaventure can take the lead.
And you can sense they're getting more and more confidence.
And there it is. They got the lead. First lead since it was 3-2. And Mike Rhodes calls a timeout.
Great job by Luke.
St. Bonaventure's outscored VCU 14-8 here in the second half. And we know this. Mark Schmidt has great designed offense.
Yes, he does. He's a brilliant offensive mind, and that's why teams are so threatened by his ability to run good stuff. Here's a pin down 3 for Flowers. Watkins gets caught too deep on the screen, and that is all that Flowers needs to get separation. A clean look, but it was the great pin down screen. Flowers read it perfectly, came off ready to catch and shoot, knocked it down to take the lead.
See what Mark Schmidt's doing right there? That's what he does all game long, up and down the sidelines.
That's right. With this play card in his back pocket, he's got a variety of plays. He even told us they only run about half their stuff.
Amazing.
Imagine if they ran all of it.
So Bonaventure will stay in Richmond till their game this week against Richmond. Off the timeout, Jackson looking in, gets it to DeLoach, knocked away by Maluk. Shot clock at 7. Whistle blows and a foul against Maluk.
And one thing that has not changed is VCU still trying to get to the paint.
Standings in the Atlantic 10, VCU tied with St. Louis for the top spot. Dayton was picked to finish first. Dayton won today convincingly over Richmond. So now 6-3. They're getting healthier, which is a key for them.
It's huge. I mean, they haven't had one game this year where they've been fully healthy. And just to think how that would look, everybody wants to know that no more than Coach Grant. But still some time left.
Zeb Jackson off the inbounds, a 16-footer. And a thing of beauty.
Great execution out of a timeout. That was a design play. Jackson coming off a ball screen. Big shot.
And the answer does not come for the Bonnies, as Luck couldn't convert. None to DeLoach. He's got an advantage against Maluk, and he's trying to use it, and he does.
And they're starting to go to him a little bit more because he has an advantage. The size advantage over Maluk. They're going to call a taunting foul, or they're going to, something's going to happen here with
DeLoach.
DeLoach. A little excited.
That's his third foul, by the way.
T-Mac, you said they may call it a little tighter in the second half. And it looks like they're doing that. And Banks shooting the tee.
He'll get 2 free throws. Let's watch it here. DeLoach is able to convert. And right there.
I don't know about that. I mean,
guess it's
instigation.
Is that, yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
He said, come on, basically. You're right.
I could see myself doing that.
Well, your coach, Fran Fraschilla, might have applauded you for doing that.
He would have snatched me out before I could even blink. The game's getting a little more physical here. Hard screens, hard cuts.
Shot clock is at 5. Ball cut off by Nunn. First turnover of the half for St. Bonaventure. And none. Sidewinding toward the block on the left side. Again, Baldwin's out with 3 fouls. You would think he's going to come back soon. Jackson slices the defense. Shriver for 3. Too much.
The whole crowd held their breath because he is that guy when it comes to three-point bombs.
Here's Venning off the pass and the lay-in. That was a beautifully designed play to give St. Bonaventure the lead.
Empty side ball screen and a nice read by Venning for the lay-in.
Johns. Double team came late. Johns kicks it out of bounds to Jimmy Martelli.
Well, they doubled him and they forced Johns to go left, which is his weak side, and hence the turnover. Good defensive adjustment. And here's an empty side ball screen. No backside help. He gets there late. Watkins got there late. And Venning with the lay-in. And look who's coming in right now. To no surprise.
Yep. Again, he sat for the last few minutes because of fouls. Kern is also back in. It's a 1-point lead for St. Bonaventure. Farrell.
That's pinned down again for Flowers.
For 3, he made another one.
And just great execution. This is why it's so hard to guard Mark Schmidt teams, because he runs a lot of misdirection, a lot of ball screen or down screen action, and Flowers is in a nice rhythm.
First player into double figures. Baldwin answers 39-37 with 12:35 to play in the second half.
And this is where Baldwin starts to take over the game, because he knows that the game is in the balance now. He's got to be a little more aggressive selectively. He rejects the ball screen and gets to the paint with a right-hand finish. Banks
has scored from the free throw line today. That's it. Flowers working against Kern. Out of bounds, touched last by VCU.
Well, defensively, you got to make Flowers put the ball on the floor. That's what you want to do. You don't want to let him catch and shoot, make him drive it, because when he catches and shoots, he is deadly.
All right, so by the way, the shot clock is at 9. St. Bonaventure needs to realize that. Farrell, fake handoff, shot clock at 5. Now to Flowers, shot clock at 3, step back 3, blocked by Shriver, and picked up by Jackson. Under 12 to play. Baldwin, a little hesitation, little jump stop, and he's fouled.
Baldwin is just determined to get to the paint, weaving.
Well, Flowers will sit with 4 fouls. Tariq, how long do you sit him?
Well, it depends on the score, and it depends on kind of the momentum of both teams. I certainly think you have to be careful.
Oh, how about this? Here. Barry Evans came and picked the pocket of Baldwin and jams it home.
Great anticipation by the freshman Barry Evans, who shot the gap. The pass was weak, too much air under it, and Baldwin did not go to the ball.
Bodies up by 4, 41-37. 11.5 to play. Baldwin for 3, no good. Another rebound taken down by Hill. This is interesting. Hill's playing the 5, which he's probably more comfortable doing for St. Bonaventure. Off the screen, he was open for a moment. Banks wants another one. Banks.
Well defended.
Shot clock is at 5. Hill, spinning move, throws it up, no good. Ball tipped around, and the foul goes against St. Bonaventure.
VCU solid defensively. The contest, the rotation. You got to give this Bonnie team a lot of credit. On the road.
Yep.
Trying to get their first road win, and Coach Schmidt, such a difficult guy to prepare for with the offensive variety he runs. These guys have really stepped up and played well.
That's 3, by the way, on Farrell. Jackson to Shriver. Extra pass to Kern. Kept his pivot foot. Jackson for 3. No good, too strong. And the rebound by Kern. There were 3 different Rams that were there. Baldwin to Jackson, cutting it hoop, slides it off the glass, it's good.
That's one of the things that makes Jackson such a valuable player, his cutting, his awareness, and then Baldwin took an extra dribble to wait for Jackson to get to the space and threw a beautiful bounce pass for the assist.
Almost halfway through the second half. St. Bonaventure with a 2-point lead.
Baldwin chasing Banks all over the place, not letting him get open.
Evans to a cutting Hill, can't get control, stolen away by Shriver. Shriver sets the screen for Baldwin. Baldwin into the paint, Baldwin off the glass, and he's able to tighten it off the rim.
And that's just him at his best, using the ball screen to get the angle. And he's starting to really assert himself offensively, which makes him a dangerous player.
8 points for Baldwin, our first tie. Getting loud here.
It's loud in here.
Yeah. Luke lost it, picked up by Jackson. Here comes Kern. Does he go coast to coast? He does! Timeout called by St. Bonaventure. Well, back here at the Siegel Center, which has been alive the whole game, but it's really alive right now because of this.
Well, this is why it's so hard to win here. The way they play, they share the ball. Baldwin is just so good at getting into the paint, and then when they turn you over, not only does it help their team, but it helps this crowd. And then this place becomes electric. And the next thing you know, me and you can't even hear each other.
Right. All right, so it's a 2-point lead for VCU. St. Bonaventure off the inbounds.
It goes without saying that the Bonnies got to take care of the ball, but they got to be strong with the ball, come meet their passes. The second ball handler is really important because he's the guy that can break open the press and settle them down.
Here's Luck against Jackson. Hill. Evans really wanted it because he had a size advantage, but Hill dives right to the hoop and lays it in. We're tied again.
I don't think that DeLoach was prepared for that. Hill just attacked his feet with a straight line drive to the rim. That's a big-time play by the sophomore.
Transfer from FDU. John's posting up. He wants it. Cut off by Evans, though. Jackson may have given up his dribble in a bad spot. He just threw that up for grabs. Shot clock is at 5. Johns along the baseline. Has it blocked away, but it's cleaned up by DeLoach.
And DeLoach has been all over the rim and active around the glass all game. His energy, his second effort, doesn't get a lot of hype, but he's an important part of this VCU front line. Him and Johns doing the dirty work.
8:05 to play here in the second half. DeLoach is in double figures.
Those long passes, you got to be careful.
Banks may have gotten away with a double dribble there. Hill up strong, doesn't get the roll. Ball is loose. Baldwin comes out with it.
Great challenge by Johns. He went straight up vertical and prevented Hill from finishing that layup.
7:45 to play. Here's Baldwin in the paint, off the glass, tough circus shot.
He's just dancing out there. He's picking his spots, changing speeds, and then when he gets you on his hip, it's lights out. He has taken over this game since he came back in out of the foul trouble.
47-43. Banks with the basketball. He's still without a field goal, 0 for 6. Farrell, shot clock at 10. Farrell, right side of the paint, off the side of the backboard. He may have fed into the fans counting down, and we're ahead of the shot clock. Baldwin can't get it to go. DeLoach! They have 34 points in the paint, VCU does. He has 10 points tonight, 6 here in the second half. And this is all part of a 12-2 run for VCU.
Well, you know, Coach Rose told us that Baldwin is a right play kind of guy. You don't hear that too often, but that is a highest compliment to be called that, and that means he reads the game well. He doesn't predetermine what he's going to do, but he reads the game and makes decisions off of that.
What did he say? He said he would make a great option quarterback.
Yes, yeah. Read and react. And here's that run and jump full court pressure by VCU. They're trying to speed up the Bonnies.
And Farrell for three. It's good. Boy, the freshman is as cool as you will find.
Man, is he a good-looking player. Poised, under control, and ice in his veins. Knocks down another big shot.
That's 4 threes for him. First one of the second half. Johns called for the traveling violation.
Jan Farrell, not afraid, not nervous. Road game at Siegel Center, high intensity, no pressure at all. He knocks down another big shot.
Chose the Bonnies over Miami, Vanderbilt, Rhode Island. Archie Miller's team had a big win again today over LaSalle. And how about there? An easy pickings for Chad Venning off the pass.
Great execution. Venning coming off a cross screen. Not defended well, and Venning with an easy basket in the paint.
So we're back to a 1-point game. We head towards 6 minutes to play. Johns, Nunn. Johns controls it. Oh, he dribbled twice.
Yeah, he sure did.
There's a tie-up.
That was a missed call. Should have been double dribble.
It sure should have.
In the NBA, you get away with that, but not in college.
Well, the possession arrow belongs to St. Bonaventure, and the Bonnies can retake the lead again after holding off this 12-2 run.
Well, their poise and their ability to not get flustered with this VCU pressure has been very impressive, and their half-court execution in the second half is why they're why they're in this game.
Again, Banks, their leading scorer, does not have a field goal tonight. Averaging 16.5 per game. He's got the ball. Goes inside to Venning, who got position. Can't get the hook shot to go down, though.
Can't ask for a better opportunity. Good ducking by Venning, just unable to finish.
VCU's lead is 1. Baldwin, pull up Jay. It's good.
You know, he's just playing at his own pace. He's unbothered. And his hesitation dribble has been hard to stop, and he loves that mid-range jumper pull-up going right.
Well, he has 12. Farrell cut off by Johns.
Got to get up on him. Johns making the adjustment. You can't let Farrell get any open space. Close his airspace, make him a driver. Here's that hesitation dribble. Just freezes Banks. And then a quick pull-up off the bounce. He uses that last dribble to catapult and elevate him straight into a pull-up jump shot, and it's hard to stop.
All right, so Johns will step out. Shriver's back in. 3-point game. Banks waves everybody through. Covered by Nunn. Bounce pass to Flowers. He has 4 fouls. Flowers will go to the free throw line for 2.
Sounded like they blew the whistle on Flowers when he took the shot.
Yeah.
But it's so loud in here.
That's 4 on Baldwin. All right,
That's
so
big.
yeah, he's pleading his case to Tony Crisp. And now Flowers, 69% from the line this year. He'll get 2. Here's that foul.
Flowers just moving without the ball, and it was a foul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
And you're right. The whistle did blow as it was in his shot. This one made one. 2-point game.
See at VCU, they're just going to keep running things through Baldwin. Let him make the decision. Great decision maker.
Baldwin for 3. In and out. Shriver had it. Yeah, he can't touch it. He went out. Oh, they call a foul on Shriver.
No, They said it's out of bounds on Banks.
I would agree with that. So the shot clock goes to 20. So he can't touch it, be the first one to touch it after falling out of bounds.
Yep.
Right. Baldwin. Backdoor to Shriver. Off the glass. Well executed.
Yep, they worked on that this morning and shoot around a back screen on Shriver. Great execution.
Luck outside. 3 for Farrell. It's good. It's his 5th three-pointer.
And at this point, easier said than done, but you can't leave that man alone.
No.
You just can't. He's on fire, and he wants the ball. You can see it in his eyes. The freshman playing with a lot of confidence.
1-point game. Under 4 to play. Here's Shriver. Leans in, no good. Rebound taken down by Farrell.
That's not really Shriver's game. Good defense by the Bonnies. Make him a driver rather than a shooter. He's not comfortable doing that.
And how about this again? The Bonnies can take the lead again.
Yeah, it's been a chess match with their best player, their best scorer, Banks, with no field goals. Who would have thought?
They wind the shot clock down, crosses over, pull up Jay. It's no good, but he's fouled, and he'll get 2 free throws.
Here's Shriver.
You know, the other night I was in Rhode Island for Dayton, Rhode Island, and Rhode Island surprised the Dayton Flyers. This would have to be termed a surprise right now that St. Bonaventure's within 1 for VCU with free throws coming, because this is the way that A-10 looks right now. Both St. Louis and VCU, no doubt, are NCAA teams. Now, whether that happens or not, we'll see. Dayton, everybody picked them number 1. But how about what St. Bonaventure has done? Mark Schmidt, excellent coach. The Bonnies have gone to the NCAA tournament 8 times since 1961.
Well, it speaks to the depth of this league. And there's great coaching throughout the league. Mark Schmidt, certainly one of the top coaches when you talk about consistency, winning program, his offensive mind, his ability to take 9 newcomers
Amazing.
And get them to play like they have tonight. Very impressive.
Banks to the free throw line, 4 of 5. Make it 5 of 6 on the night. This is the only spot he's gotten points, free throw line.
Yeah. He is a marked man, whether he's 0 for 10 or 10 for 10, because he's that kind of player, their primary scorer. And even though he averages 16 a game, the clutch moments is when he wants the ball.
Well, he's just given the Bonnies the lead, 54-53.
Trying to press up on Baldwin a little bit more and hedge because he's so dangerous in the ball screen.
Here's DeLoach working against Venning. DeLoach, quickness, tough shot, tough angle, didn't get it to go. Venning with the rebound.
Well defended. They made him kind of shy away from getting an angle because Venning was big with his length and his wingspan.
Luke up top. Looking for Moses, looking for Farrell, gets it to Farrell. Banks inside for Venning. Shot clock is at 10. Venning gets his man off his feet, lays it in. A beautiful move by the big man.
The footwork, we talked about it in the first half. The patience, he didn't rush, he took his time, and the up and under beautifully executed to give the Bonnies the lead.
He's got 11 points. Apologize for the video technical problems that we're having. We're trying to get those cleaned up. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. It's a great game here in the Atlantic 10, 56-53. St. Bonaventure's on top as we head toward 2 minutes to play. Johns will inbound the basketball for the Rams. He gets it into Nunn in the backcourt for VCU. Banks is on him. Now to Baldwin, still in the backcourt, covered by Luck. Baldwin across the timeline with 2 seconds to spare. St. Bonaventure up by 3. Baldwin, he's been in control in the second half, skips it. Watkins Foul's called. Luck is called for that foul, and Watkins will get a 1-1.
Well, the Bonnies are so concerned with keeping the ball out of the middle, but the way VCU plays, even though they haven't shot the ball great from 3, they have so many guys, Watkins being one of them, that really thrives at getting downhill and driving the ball hard to the rim. Watkins does a nice job drawing the contact.
All right, so Watkins will go to the free throw line. And the first is no good. Banks with the rebound. Everybody else froze. Nobody realized it was 1-1.
Got it was 1-1. That's a big miss. The Bonnies get a chance to make this a 2-possession game. The Rams need a stop.
Luck covered by Baldwin. Flowers, 4 fouls on him. Heads toward the basket. Down, shot no good. Venning loses it, picked up by Johns.
And Flowers wanted a foul, but defensively they went up vertical.
1 minute to play. VCU down 3. Whistle blows and a blocking foul is called on Luck. That's his 3rd. And it's going to send Baldwin to the free throw line. And it'll be a 1-1.
The game has become more physical in the second half.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
not a lot of fouls called, to be honest, right? They have let them play. And I think physicality is certainly playing a role in who's going to win this game. Baldwin goes to the foul line with 1-1.
First free throw of the night for Baldwin. He converts. He's made this a 2-point game. 54.8 to play. You make this one, you don't worry about whether you're down by 2 at this point.
No, you're good. Just need a stop. You don't need a foul.
Second shot. It's no good. In and out. Farrell with the rebound. And now Luck covered by Jackson. And Mark Schmidt wants a timeout. That's the last timeout for the Bonnies. 42.6 to play. Game is still in the balance. 56-54. St. Bonaventure 10-11 on the year. Up by 2 over VCU, which has won 6 straight games. 7-1 of the Atlantic 10. 42.6 to play. The timeout was called by St. Bonaventure as they were in the flow of the offense. So they'll inbound with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. End this 2-point lead.
But you know Schmitty's got something up his sleeve. He is an offensive guru. He's run a number of sets to get Flowers and Farrell great looks. It's become a chess match because offensively, I think Coach Schmidt has done a really good job, but you know Coach Rose has a plan too on how he wants to guard it.
Well, give me an idea. Is St. Bonaventure looking for Flowers here or Farrell, or are they going to try to surprise everybody and go to Banks?
I think they have 2 options here. They're going to run some kind of staggered down screen, pin down action for Flowers or Farrell, and it's going to involve some kind of misdirection. Both those guys shooting the ball extremely well. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them are involved in a ball screen where they can screen and pop and create some misdirection and get a shot.
Farrell, number 2, you see, has 5 threes. The inbound goes to Luck again. Shot clock was at 18 when they inbounded. Banks. Now to Farrell again. Ooh, what a pass inside of Venning, who lays it in into a pump of a fist as he converts.
Great execution, the duck in, and now we got
Baldwin, easy lay-in, 58-56, and a timeout called by VCU with 23.8 to play. Hey, give Venning credit because he got great position on DeLoach.
He sealed this man perfectly.
2-point game. Come on back. Hello, it's Tariq Turner. I'm Tom McCarthy. 23.8 to play. It'll be St. Bonaventure basketball. The timeout was called by VCU. The Rams have 1 timeout left. Give me a thought on what VCU's approach is defensively against Mark Schmidt's Bonnies.
Well, they don't have to foul right away, and I don't think they will. I think they're going to try to deny the ball, try to trap once, maybe even try to trap twice, and then they're going to have to likely foul. Down 2 points with 23 seconds left. You obviously cannot let the Bonnies run the clock out with the lead, but they're not going to foul right away. They're going to give it some time try to bait the Bonnies into a turnover. Can the Bonnies be strong with the ball and execute is the question.
Banks runs the baseline, gets it into Farrell. That was a tough pass. Now to Flowers, and Flowers is fouled by Nunn.
So they had their chance. They went for the trap, the steal. They almost had it, but the Bonnies were able to dodge a bullet there. And now Flowers goes to the foul line. He's played a whale of a game. Tonight.
He has 12 points, 1 for 2 from the line, 69% for the year.
Making Coach Schmidt look smart, putting him in the starting lineup tonight. As a shooter, a guy that can stretch the floor, he has done that tonight at a high level.
All right, so 1-1. Front end. It's good. All right, so that's big. This is bigger, though.
Yep, this is the one. This is the chance to make it, as you know, Tom, a 2-possession game. Either way, VCU's got to get a great push and a quick basket and try to stop the clock.
Second shot. It's good. It's a 2-possession game with 20.4 to play. Here's Schreiber. I thought maybe they'd double him. Baldwin. Game clock at 12. Schreiber for 3. No good. Johns has it tipped around, and a foul is called on
Venning.
I think it's Venning. Yeah. Yep, that's Venning. That's 5, so he's disqualified. You talked about that before.
Yeah. And he's played a great game, Venning. He was big in a lot of ways as a enforcer down low, active around the glass. 13 points for the big man, the sophomore. And it was not just his scoring, Tom. It was his defensive awareness, his size, challenging the rim.
His post-up ability was really good,
yeah.
too. All right, so he'll check out with 5 fouls. They'll bring in Hill.
More of a finesse, kind of a thinner type of player, but long at 6'9". And Johns now at the foul line in a 1-on-1. Is it 1-on-1 or 2? It's 2 shots.
I think it's 1-on-1. Let's see as they come out. Yep, 2 shots.
Now, obviously, he needs to make these, and with the shot, with the clock stops, ideally, they want to set up their pressure right after he makes both these foul shots.
Let me correct that. It is 1-on-1. The official just corrected it. So Johns to the free throw line. 3 of 4 in the game. 4-point ball game. And the first to get a second. It's good.
You say 9.5 seconds, but that's still a lot of time. A lot can happen here. And if VCU makes this, they're going to press, try to deny the ball inbounds, and then get a quick foul and try to extend this game, whereas the Bonnies want to shorten this game.
Johns makes both. Money shots. 2-point game. 9.5 to play. 9.5 to play, I should say. Banks can run the baseline. No timeouts left. They try to get the turnover. Whistle blows, and a foul called on VCU with 7.6 to play.
They dodge another bullet. VCU was trying to get the jump ball on the strip. And Flowers just sealed this man and was able to secure it. And Flowers gets a chance to go back to the line again.
Yeah, Flowers with a 2-point lead will go to the line for a 1-and-1 again, just like last time. First one's big, second one's bigger.
Yeah.
If he can make the first one.
Big time A-10 matchup here.
Big time. All right, here we go. Flowers first one to try to get a second. Front ends, it's good.
Ice.
Yeah, so now it's a 3-point game. If he makes this one, VCU's going to be hard-pressed to come back.
Tom, there's no better feeling than being on the road and just shutting up the crowd. And it's really the Bonnies against everyone.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to get their first road win. What a great opportunity here.
He missed it. 1-possession game. Baldwin bringing it up the floor. Baldwin. Three-pointer to tie it. No good. Tipped around. That's it. St. Bonaventure with its first road win in the Atlantic 10 this year. They win it by a final score of 61-58. And it's only the second win that the Bonnies have had here at the Siegel Center. Well, Tariq, I enjoyed this one.
That was fun. I enjoyed it too. Thank you for making it easy.